to go through it since they are not in class today. All right, this is the F1 assignment that you guys are going to do, and it's due during the week of 5 to 11 April. So that will be shortly before Easter holidays. So I need to emphasize that that is going to be before Easter holidays, because normally F1 students will submit them soon after Easter. So just know that before you go for Easter holidays, you need to make a submission. And this is the first submission for the year. So normally it is to test how deeper the waters of digital marketing for the year is like. And it's not that difficult, but of course, yeah, students are expected to do their best in this assignment. So you cannot just relax, assuming or thinking that this is just F1 and its marks, its overall marks are not that dense uh, to the course mark. You need to put more effort in it, because no matter how little the marks can be, it still contributes to the final mark or for the year. And also, I always highly encourage students to start working on this assignment as soon as possible, because most of the stuff that will be covering in these assignments have already been discussed in class, and some will be discussing them even today. So I highly encourage students to start the assignment today so that they can always have enough time, ample time to revisit it, to make some additions if you come across new information, or to work on the technical stuff of the assignment. I've realized so far that students have got a tendency of working on the submissions on the 11th, like the last day of the submission. And if the submission deadline is at 11:59, some of the submissions that I come across, actually, you realize that students actually submitted at 11. I mean, to risk it that you had the submission open up on the 5th, for you to submit at the final day and the final hour, that's very risky, because you do things, last minute things, end up leaving crucial information. And also, I believe load shedding is back. I don't know if it is still the case in your area, but in my area, load shedding is back. So you wouldn't risk it that you wait to the last day of submission. And if you've got power issues, then that's none of our problem, because you're given a week to complete this assignment. This assignment is going to be submitted on core campus. So there are no physical hand-in. There's nothing that you're going to hand in class. You need to make this submission on core campus. And I believe since your second year, I believe that you have submitted an assignment on core campus before. You can just indicate a thumb if you have. Okay, thank you. Thank you for confirming that. So, of course, this is an individual assignment. It's not a group work. It's an individual assignment. So it means that you are responsible for this assignment. No one must help you. And if you realize, of course, as part of the Boston policy, if you realize that there was collusion, students were copying from each other, then necessary measures are going to be taken. So it's an individual assignment, and the assessment will assess your knowledge, understanding, and ability to apply the secondary research to identify a need, turn it into a product, segment the market, and select a target market and application the service quality framework. That's what the assignment is going to be looking at. Already we've looked at the marketing mix. And this assessment is going to be out of 120 marks. I know that out of those 120 marks, there are also free marks that you are going to get included in those 120 marks. Those that we normally call them additional marks. but we'll talk about that in detail when we get there. There are two primary sources that you are going to be using for this assessment. So those are the books, and I know that some of them you might have already have them. Do you have the textbooks for this study, for this subject?
Yes. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
better.
I do have the textbook.
Okay, that's wonderful. So yeah, those are the textbooks, but remember, your knowledge is not only limited to these textbooks. We normally encourage students to look for diverse information. You can take use of the internet, especially on Google Scholar. We recommend Google Scholar because that's where there are accredited sources, not just a Google search, because a Google search is full of blogs, and some of those blogs are not written by qualified people or people who have got knowledge in digital marketing. Anyone can have opinion about marketing and post it on the internet. So you need to be careful with the information that you get there. But yeah, we encourage students to have diverse knowledge on information for the assignments. Anyway, in digital marketing, you realize that we normally deal with the briefs because the briefs are the ones that determine the kind of the strategy that we need to formulate, the kind of the strategy that we need to implement, the kind of the strategy that we need, to get some direction on achieving some of the goals, the marketing goals for the organization. So there are tasks that we are normally given in the marketing field, not only in digital marketing subjects, but also in the field where we are working. We work on tasks, and on those tasks, we are then asked to have some execution, to implement some plan to achieve what needs to be achieved. So with this assignment, there is also a task, and the task is: imagine you are a young digital marketing executive for an incubator company providing marketing support and mentorship to new startups. So you're sort of like an agency. And then you have been tasked to assist one startup company in creating a new unique consumer product and marketing the unique consumer product in South Africa. Answer the following questions to guide the new startup company. So you have been approached, in other words, you have been approached for digital marketing guidance on a new unique consumer product. So the first question has got 35 marks. So it means that these 35 marks are given for you. And with the way you answer, you can then decide whether you want to get all of them or not. So according to Block and other authors, a product is made up of different layers that build on each other to generate a final offering that will satisfy customer needs. Using the layers that make up a physical product, describe the unique consumer product and provide evidence of the need of the product. Meaning you need to identify a need in the market and use the product layers to turn the need into a product, research and justify the need. This we already discussed in the previous lesson. I don't know if you still remember it, but we actually looked at baked beans. So if we can revisit the recordings for the last week's meeting, we spoke about baked beans. The beans providing the first layer being a need for food and hunger. Then a second layer would be that baked beans being added with tomato sauce or being preserved so that it doesn't go bad and stuff like that. So we already spoke about product layers, products being part of the 7 P's of the marketing mix. I don't know if you saw that links were uploaded on Core Campus for the previous lesson. Did you see that, Maeso?
The links, I have no record of them.
Yeah, so if
Are
you go to
they?
Core Campus under announcements, you'll be able to revisit the links of the sessions that we had on Tuesday last week.
It's just showing me links for the part-time classes.
Yes, so
Oh,
those are
yeah, yeah, I see it. I see it, yeah.
so that's actually a recording of what we discussed last week. So meaning that if you are going through this assignment, there's anything that you do not understand, for example, these product layers, I remember very well we discussed them in the meeting in the class that we had on Tuesday. So it will actually be easy to get the 20 marks from this question. So firstly, you need to identify a need in the market. So for example, are people struggling to get from point A to point B? If the answer is yes, they are struggling. It means that they need something that is going to move them from point A to point B. What is it that can move them from point A to point B? It's a car. Then a solution means that it's a car, which means the first layer of that product will be a need to move people from point A to point B. Then the second layer will be having safety features on that car. That's the second layer. So it's the primary function of a car is actually to move people from point A to point B. Then the second would be safety. While you are moving those people from point A to point B, do we need to make sure that in case of emergency, there's a seat belt that protects them from being injured in case of an accident. So that would be a second layer of that product, and that second layer can actually distinguish a product from competitors. Then a third layer, based on research, can be other comfortability features. For example, being able to have internet on that car, or being able to have aircon, anything that would make passengers or people using that car more comfortable from a aircon point of view, or whatever that may deem necessary as an extra layer of that product. I don't know if I'm making any sense. Any questions so far, with regards to question 1.1?
No questions so far, sir.
All right. Then the second part of question 1 says, identify and describe the target market for the unique consumer product. So now you need to go and think about the primary target that is going to use that product. Of course, many people can always use products. For example, if it's baby related product like your pampers, your nappies for the babies, who is the who is the target audience, the target consumer for baby products like your Huggies, nappies?
Would assume it's parents.
Yes, parents, you see. So mostly it will be parents that would have the buying power for those products, and precisely mothers. But there are also other people who can be considered there. For example, daycare schools who provide nursing for kids. They are also the target consumer for baby related products. Orphanages, they are also the target consumers for Huggies. But here the primary consumer would be your parents. So that can also be emphasized. Each and every product, it has got its own primary or its only target um, audience, even though everyone is always welcome to access those products. Same thing with Huggies. Not everyone who is a parent is buying baby products. There are some people who are not parents at all, but are breadwinners, like your sister who is taking care of um, her younger sisters who have got kids, and all of a sudden she's the target customer for those because she has got a buying power. She doesn't have babies herself. She has never given birth, but for the fact that she's a breadwinner, she's actually getting those um, products for the people that she supports. Does it make sense? All right. If I'm not making any sense, please let me know so that we can engage on it. I can provide clarification of so and so on. All right. So use segmentation variables. We are going to talk about segmentation anyway. So geographic, demographic, psychographic, and behavioral segmentation to describe who you target. So from a geographic point of view, you need to tell us who are you going to target to use this unique consumer product. Is it someone who is based in Limpopo? Is it someone who is based in Gauteng? Okay, if it's Gauteng, where exactly in Gauteng? Is it someone who is based in Johannesburg? All right, if it's in Johannesburg, is it the entire city? Or someone that is based in Sandton? Or someone who is based in Soweto? Or if it's not only South Africa, is this an African product? Is it only the people who are based on the African continent? Or is it a global product whereby anyone can consume it? So that's your geographic segmentation. As you know that there are some products that can be consumed globally, like your Shein and your Temu. They are selling their products to everyone everywhere. So those they did considered their geographic segmentation, that people from elsewhere in the world can be able to buy from Shein, can be able to buy from Temu, can be able to buy from Amazon. So you need to tell us where are these people based from a geographic point of view, and you need to justify that. Then from a demographic point of view, you need to tell us, are these people men or female? Are these people young or old? Are these people married or single? Are these people educated or not educated? Are these people employed or not employed? So you need to find that demographic information about your customers. Then from your psychographics, you need to tell us the attitudes of these people. Are they outgoing? So if they are outgoing, it means that they're always on the road. They can be able to see certain. Are they introverts? Are they extroverts? So you need to tell us about their thoughts processes. Then, of course, behavioral point of view, you need to tell us about their purchasing behavior. Are they always broke? What is their attitude towards the brand? What is their purchasing behavior? Would they buy the product monthly or weekly or yearly? Trust me, all organizations do get the buying patterns of their consumers. For example, Pick and Pay would know that every month on a certain day, people would actually get more roll-on than on another month. So you actually see that these products will be sold more frequently on a monthly basis or on a yearly basis or 5-year basis. If it's a car services, most of them it's yearly. So you can actually track the behavior of consumers on how they maintain their products, how they consume the product, how they service the product, and so forth. So on that one, you get 15 marks. So your 15 marks and your 20 marks, making it 35. Any questions on question 1.2?
No, sir.
All right, perfect. I think this is a doable assignment, honestly. So far, what do you think? Is it hard? Is it something that you can easily do?
Judging by the first two questions, it sounds like something we've already learned in digital
Mm,
marketing one.
okay, at least it's doable. Okay, now we go to the second part of the assignment. Now we look at the elements of marketing. We are now looking at one of the 7 P's, which is place. Remember, there are 7 P's and they are there in the links that have been uploaded on Core Campus. So here you are being told already that place refers to how the marketing offering is distributed to where customer wants it and when they want it. Discuss the different levels of distribution intensity and recommend the distribution intensity for the unique product we have created. So here you are actually, this is a continuation from question 1. Remember, we spoke about geographic segmentation, where asked where this product is going to be delivered to, will it be in Limpopo and so forth. So now you are going to expand on your geographical segmentation. Motivate your chosen distribution intensity and motivate why the other levels of distribution are not suitable. So what you need to do is that you need to identify, discuss, apply, and make recommendations on the levels of distribution intensity, motivate for the chosen level of intensity, and of course justify why others won't do. So we are going to talk about that, I think, today, because last week we spoke about product and the levels. So we are going to look at place, price, and other elements. Any questions for question 2.1?
Yes, sir.
All right. Then we go to question 2.2, which talks about price. So already there are 3 elements of the marketing mix that have been addressed in this assignment. We've got product, we've got place, now we are looking at price, which is the third one. And all of them are 7. Price is the amount of money that the customer will exchange in order to take ownership or experience in the offering. Discuss 3 pricing strategies that apply to your chosen unique customer product. Motivate for chosen strategy and why other pricing strategies are not suitable. And when looking at these questions, there are only 4 lines, just a paragraph of a question. However, you need to take note of the marks that are on the right column there. So only from this paragraph, they then say 15 marks. Meaning, if you are being asked to discuss 3 things as mentioned here, 3 things, it means that your discussion must multiply, your points must be more than 5 per 3 things. So one item, you make sure that you've got 5 points. Another item, you make sure that you've got another 5 points, making it 10. The last item, you also make sure that you've got, making it 15. But if you only provide one item, chances are that you're going to get less marks because you did not fully discuss what you've been asked to do. So you need to make sure that the answers that you are providing are adequate enough to get you the marks that are given. And in this case, it will be the 15 marks. The same with all these marks that you've been seeing before. You need to make sure that if you say What is digital? And then it's 15 marks. It means that your answer must be broad. You can't give just one sentence and expect to get 15 marks out of that question. But what is digital? A sentence enough. But if there are 15 marks, it means that you need to elaborate as much as possible so that you get as many marks as possible out of the given marks. And I also highly encourage students not to leave a blank page no matter what. You must answer all the questions. Even if you are saying nonsense, just make sure that all questions are fully answered. Because if you leave a blank space on this question, for example, 2.2, let's say you're in a rush or you didn't know what to put there and you left it as it is. Already you have got 0 out of 15. So it means that you've got 0 out of the 120 marks that have been given. So out of 100, already you are deducting 15 out of 120. So it means that already you are now how blank they are, no matter how stuck they are, put something, at least even if you put nonsense, you can always, try to say that, you know what, at least he put something, let me give him 1 or 2. But if there's nothing, it means that I cannot even have any favors to put something there. So I highly encourage students to make sure that they provide answers. So you need to tell us about the 3 pricing strategies, have 5 bullets under each, and apply to your chosen unique consumer product. So whatever you come across from a theory point of view, you need to apply it to the unique consumer product that you have been asked to create at the beginning of the assignment. Meaning you need to identify, explain, and apply the theory, in this case pricing strategy, to a chosen unique product and motivate both chosen and pricing strategies that are not suitable. Then question 2.3, select 2 promotional tools. So now we are now on the 4th P of the marketing mix. Select 2 promotional tools and apply them to the unique consumer product. So it's the same thing that you did in the previous 2 questions. So you need to show how you would promote the product. And as you can see, it's also 15 marks. So you must identify, explain, and apply the chosen promotional tools to the product that you have created. So that's the second part of the assignment. Are there any questions? Are there any additions or comments so far?
Not
All right. Now we move on to the third part of the assignment, which is the service quality. And it's going to be out of 25 marks. So using the 5 service quality dimensions, the service quality framework asks customers about their expectations and experiences. So 3.1, identify 5 service quality dimensions, explain and apply them to a network service provider in South Africa using secondary research to indicate customers' expectations and experiences. So you need to go out there and identify network providers in South Africa. Sometimes students get carried away. All of a sudden, they are telling us about network providers that are available in Botswana or in Zambia or in Malawi or in UK or in elsewhere. But we need to provide existing network service providers in South Africa. So we don't want to hear about, your Zesco that you would find in Zambia, for example, as a network provider. We don't want to hear about your Econet that you find in Zim. We want network providers that are based locally. So you must identify the 5 dimensions service quality, conduct secondary research, and indicate why customers would expect such an experience and how they think about the service providers concerning each dimension. I mean, we use cell phones. We know how bad or good these service providers are on our SIM cards. And we can always go and get sentiments even on Hello Peter, because Hello Peter can actually show whether people are happy with the product or not. Then, based on the previous answer, we need to make practical recommendation on how the chosen network service provider in South Africa can improve service quality. So whoever you choose, whether it's Vodacom, whether it's your MTN, whoever you choose, you need to make sure that you also have something that is realistic, that they can have recommendations to make sure that they can improve their service quality. That would give you 10 marks. So all the marks that you have discussed so far, they are out of 100. Then we are going to discuss the additional 20 overall marks when we have a look at the rubric. Are there any questions before we scroll down?
Just
You
one, sir.
understand?
Will we get the specific chapters of where to look for like the headings of each question?
Not really. You won't be able to be given that. That's part of your homework of going to understand the chapters. But as you can see, already if they are talking about service quality, you can easily go and find that in the textbook. You can even go to the table of contents, or you can go to the index. It can tell you where service quality is being mentioned in the textbook. The reason why we do not necessarily put on page numbers and so forth, we do not want to spoon feed students. Are you fully answered?
Yes, it makes sense now.
Anything else?
No, that's it, sir.
All right. So of course, this assignment is individual, as I said. So if you copy from someone or someone copies from you, there are implications for that. Because core campus is centralized, meaning that students from Durban, students from Pretoria are also uploading their assignments where you are going to upload yours. You need to make sure that you clearly indicate your surname and name. On the cover page, you put your student number. You also put the subject name and the subject code, and make sure that you indicate from which campus you have registered for. This helps a lot because you've got students from other campuses. So if you do not indicate Sandton, I won't be able to know that you are a student from Sandton, especially now, since this is the first assignment. I don't have a complete list of digital marketing 2 students. So it helps a lot to put the campus name there, so that when I'm marking, I can actually know that this is my student, then I mark your assignment. But if you do not indicate there, you risk your assignment being marked by another lecturer. So I encourage students to have a clear cover page. Make sure that you put on my name there and you pronounce it nicely. I mean, I've been insulted a lot by students who misspelled my name. That's an insult. Though I don't take that as a much offense, but you make sure that you put my name there with the correct spelling, then I can be able to know whose assignment is this. You need to maintain consistency throughout the assignment, because this is an academic submission, a formal academic submission, you need to make sure that your assignment is presented in a formal manner, in a professional manner, as you can see here with this brief. Everything is in the same font. So you need to make sure that also in your assignment, whatever font that you choose, be it Times New Roman or Arial. So these are only the two allowed font styles. So if you decide to go with Times New Roman, it means that throughout your entire document, everything must be in Times New Roman. If you decide to do Arial, it means that throughout your document, everything must be in Arial. And I know that students mostly, when they copy text from elsewhere, especially from Google, they copy with funny characters and they copy with the original font from that source. Then when they paste on their document, it changes the font, it changes the color, it brings in funny characters, and then they submit it as it is. It means that you are not being professional in your work, and you'll be penalized for that from those additional marks that we spoke about. So this is how you do it. After doing your assignment, you highlight everything from head to toe, from the beginning to the bottom, like I'm highlighting here. Then you go where your font style is. You select the Arial is already there if you want to use Arial, or you scroll down if you want to use Times New Roman. Then after selecting the font style, you then go and check on the font size, and you are only allowed to use 12 there. Even if it's for subheadings or headings, just make sure that your font size is 12. If you want to use subheadings, you can always make them bold or you can always underline them, but the font size must be 12. I know this is common knowledge, but I've seen students on many occasions missing on this, and as a result, losing unnecessary marks. These are free marks that you should be getting. Then after do that, your line spacing, you need to come here on a line spacing and make sure that you are going to 1.5, not 1.0 as it is on this document. But you need to make sure that everything on your document is spaced at 1.5 as I'm showing here. And I hope you can see that on the screen. So those are the technical aspects that you need to stick to. Then now let's go to the rubric. I believe it's here. So this is the rubric, and it's going to guide you on how you are going to this rubric as you do your assignment. And you realize that at the bottom here, you have got extra marks. For example, the kind of the sources that you are using. Have you cited and referenced all the sources accurately using the Harvard referencing? So please go and have a look at what Harvard referencing is. And also, you must look for reliable sources. I won't accept anything that is written by admin or by staff member, because we realize that some of the sources where you go to, at the top it will say by admin or by staff writer. Go to Google Scholar and look for information. In most cases, at Google Scholar, you can always get sources that have got what do you call this? You can always get sources that have been accredited by human beings. So for example, I don't know if you can see the screen that I'm sharing now.
I can see it, sir.
Yes. So for example, you go to Google and you're looking for information, and you just go straight to Google and you say, what is service quality? Because service quality was mentioned in that assignment. In digital marketing, as you can see, there are already prompts there. You click on there. Now you have got results here. already, as you can see, most of these results he gets from Indeed.com. These are not academic sources. Let's open on Indeed and see. Let's click on Indeed. You see what it says at the top? It says that written by Indeed editorial team. We do not know those. We do not know who they are, whether they are qualified to have this opinion or not. They might be saying the right thing, but for the fact that we cannot credit them as individuals, it becomes a difficult thing. All this information might be correct, but this source, indeed, it's not a valuable source from an academic point of view. It is a valuable source when you are doing your own self-learning, trying to understand what is it. But from an academic point of view, you cannot say, according to Indeed editorial team 2025. It really doesn't make sense. So what do you need to do? You need to first, let's go back to where we started. You need first to come here and say Google Scholar. That's where you get credible academic articles there. So you say Google Scholar, and you click, and you go to Google Scholar there. As you can see, Google Scholar has got research articles, it has got case laws. So we do the same thing that we did in that Google search. You say, what is service quality in digital marketing? Then you search. You see what's happening. Now you can see that all these articles that are here have got people's name there. Like the first one, it's by Y.S. Young, just like M. Banda, if it's Maeso Banda. Now it's easy for you to say according to one. It's easy for you to source to cite the second one and say according to Sigita. It's easier for you to say according to Brakavik, whatever it is. But here you are citing real human beings who have contributed to the field of digital marketing. It also helps you when you are doing your referencing, because you can come here where it says cite. Can you see where it says cite there?
Yes, I can see it.
So when you click here where it's written cite, you click on it, it will pop up. Let's see if it will pop up. It pop-ups, as you can see. Then there are different referencing styles there. You've got your MLA, you've got your American Psychology, what, APA, you've got the Chicago. At Boston, they only want Harvard. So now you can be able to copy this and put it in your reference list rather than you manually typing in. But you need to go and have a look at the Boston Harvard referencing style, because the year must be in bracket, if I remember. But it actually takes a lot of work from you if you use Google Scholar than going to a mere Google search, because on Google search, there's so much information there that is not that credible. I mean, anyone can write a blog and post their content, and you wouldn't be able to know whether that content is legitimate or not, especially if it says by a staff writer, or by an admin, or by an Indeed team, and so forth. Then you need to make sure, of course, that you are using the academic language. I know, especially among the student, there's a slang that a campus language that most students will use, like referring to hands, those slang nigger language. You need to make sure that you're using academic language here. Even your sentence construction, your articulation of arguments, you need to make sure that it's more academic. And as such, you are going to get free marks for simple things like spellings, grammar, corrections, and so forth. So that's it for the assignment. How do you feel so far? Is it something that you can work on? Are you happy with this assignment, or you now have more stress about, what am I going to do with this assignment?
No, I think it's doable. But I just have one question in regards to the cover page and the reference list. So do those also have to be in the same font?
Yes. So everything must
Okay.
be in 12. Everything. Same font, same font style, same font size.
Okay, then no more further questions, sir.
All right. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Maeso. All right, let's just have a breather.